Everybody, CT. It's Christmas evening. Hey, happy Christmas, everybody. Let's get some stuff started, like the timer and my. All right, here we go. So, what are we gonna do? We are going to refactor. Yes, refactor. So we're doing some more refactoring. So I kind of think I have things backwards. Um, I want to have like a local client and server in case you're not like we're still going to use the client server infrastructure even if we're on a local machine by itself. So to do that, we need a local server and client. It just connects to each other, and it's just two classes talking to each other. But I didn't structure it that way, so we need to restructure our code a little bit. So here we go. I'm gonna open the project, and here we go. All right, just so I can kind of get a good gist of what I'm thinking. If I look back at my controllers here, this is kind of what I had in mind. We're kind of working in these two classes, client controller and server controller, and I think these need to talk to each other, even if they're just a local or client. So this is what I just wrote up. So I think it should be in this tree, like client, command client, but I think client and command client don't have any kind of networking in it at all. So it's going to be kind of just kind of baseline, hey, here's a packet, send the packet. And then server is going to be like, okay, here's the packet, receive the packet, and vice versa. And that's what the local command client and local command server kind of just subscribe to each other so they can communicate. And then it gets more complicated once you do the TCP, UDP, or mixed command client. So I'm gonna have to refactor all of that. So let's see how everything's kind of structured right now. So if I look at base, I look at client, you can already see it's kind of already very set. So like, hey, here's a yeah, it's very much set. So I'm not going to set it. I'm going to set it like that. Alright, so that's client. I wonder if I can use socket event args. Alright, well, let me think about it. Yeah, I can use socket event args because it's just a class or a data structure. So, okay, I can still use that. Disconnect, receive, send. I think I'm going to just have send packet. Okay, excellent. So on connected, we're just gonna launch the event connected and unsubscribe. Alright, great. Received, why don't we unsubscribe? Oh, because it's on received. Oh, this is just, I'm curious why I don't run this, but I'm thinking just because I need to separate the event and this. Because I need to parse out the packet. So, okay, that makes sense. On received packet. I don't know. I think I'll just leave it like that. On sent and is connected. Okay. So the base I feel pretty good. Like that is kind of what I wanted the base to be. So there's no connection logic or anything. But now when I look at base client or just wait, this is client. Okay, so I'm okay with this. That's great. So I'm not going to look at the server. I'm going to try to focus all this on client right now. So this is what I want to do. Public void connect string host int port, and this is and then I'll just say connect host port. I don't think I need to do all that. I can just do this as is. But here's the deal. This is actually more like a TCP client. So why don't I do that? TCP command client. Yes, please. Now, I kind of just want to make a command client as is. So just like new item, command client, just like this. Sure, I'll make it public for now. And it's going to extend clients. Yes. Okay. And then TCP command client is going to extend command client. Okay, so I don't have a problem with this. Connect is cool. Yeah, this is good for this guy. Don't mind me. Local command client. So this is the guy that's going to be not using the networks at all. Yes. Okay. We got command client. So close you, close you, close you, close you, close. Wait, I got one more extra guy. Command client program. Close you. Yeah. Okay, so we got command clients. Here to base. Then we got the local and the other one. So local command clients and you. I don't think I need base anymore. Okay. So command clients is not doing anything right now. We're kind of working off a TCP right now, so we didn't do anything special yet. Endpoint, event args. So this is making a new event arg. So when we launch connect, override connect, base connect sounds good. And then I just go on connect it. This and all. Okay. So I'm just connecting right away, basically. Because I don't really need to use the event args. Okay, so that's good, that's good. But you probably want to know. I guess I kind of need the command program. Alright, so you just say connect it, so you don't actually do anything there. And on disconnect you do the same thing. Okay, so that's pretty good. Alright, let's look at our TCP. So once you're on connect it, what do? You start receiving. Okay. So on local clients, override on connect it. Sure. And then you just start receiving. So you just say, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I already did all the work without that TCP client, and it's already working. So, but man, thank you, Archer Robin Hood, dude. I saw that, but I kind of just wanted to build it from scratch, just so that when I do build the UDP server and just other kind of servers, not just a TCP server, I'll just have to change my code a little bit and not have to rely heavily on the TCP client. But I am relying heavily on the sockets. So, yeah. Base on connected. So, okay, we got connect. We're not actually connecting. We're just gonna go ahead and subscribe. So we can say like local command server dot send or on send. Gosh, I don't even remember. What if I just said server for now? Or command server, and I said on send. What actions do you have? Base server. Actually server. Just on sent. Why don't you server dot sent. So you're gonna have to have a reference to server. For now, I'll just make it server. You don't have to use base. Use your command server for now. Command server dot. We'll just call you server for now. So server dot sent plus equals receive. Okay. Not exactly where this belongs. We're just going to go ahead and call it receive. Override receive. And that's where we'll do this. And we'll say on received. Oh, man, that's biting me in the butt right now. Okay, Archer Robin Hood, you could pass in a server as this into the construction parameter of the local command. Alright, let me see if I understand that. You could pass in the server as this into the construction parameter of the local. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Like just passing it here. Oh yeah, this right here, right? New. I'll figure it out. But yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Okay. So I just realized these are two different kind of events, and I don't really want that. So let's take a look at server. Yeah, this is just so much easier to handle. So let's just keep it like that. Where's my client? Client. No, it's actually server. So server. Yeah, you see, we need the client data and the packet. Okay, so that's kind of, geez, that's harder. I'm very hesitant to change my previous code because I don't want to do it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of doing, dude. Alright, I'll put it in here for now. Just how I'm going to use it later, I'm just not quite sure. This dot server, equal server. Command server. Oh, what's command? Connection. Yeah, I don't know what you're trying to tell me, sir. Base server. And maybe I should put the chat at the side of my primary screen like Twitch does. Explain that to me. When you're saying put the chat on the side of my, my primary monitor, so like put it like here above me so I can actually see it. Yeah, it's actually I'd probably just need to put it on the left side. I have it like right here is where I want to have it. Or actually I can just pop it out. So like let's see. That's what I need to do. I just need to pop the chat out every time. Just kind of put it like here. That way I just see everything up front ready to go. Okay. Good call, good call. I always have the chat like so far, like way over there. And really it should just be like right here. Okay, anyway. I'm cool with this. I'm cool with this. I'm cool with the way I got it. Here we go. I am hesitant to do what I'm thinking about doing. And that's basically changing how I do these actions right here. But I'm gonna do it. Please don't kill me. Is it event args? Socket async event args. Is that not what I want to do? Maybe it's event arg handler. Event handler. Socket event async args. Yeah, that's what I need to do. Well, at least it's built-in classes, so that's nice. Alright, so that's nice, but now I gotta change all of this stuff. Here we do. So get client data from this guy. And you're like, how are you gonna get client data from this guy? Return e.user token as client data. Alright. Why do you want me to remove that Senor Archer Robin Hood? Oh. In fact, I think you just want me to do that, right? Haha. Alright, I see what you're saying now. Yeah, that's... So I'm doing that because, I don't know, I just want my code to be cleaner. I don't want to have to do this for every piece of my code. So I don't want to say if on accepted not equal null, then do on accepted sender E or something. So I don't like this check right here is what I'm saying. So I like to just equal it to this blank delegate, this empty function. So it's one extra line of code there at the beginning every time you call the function, but you're going to do that one extra line of code right here anyway. So I don't see the disadvantage of doing it this way, and I think the code looks nicer now that I have this and I don't have to do the check. So I'm doing an extra function here or an extra function when I'm doing the check. So that's why I chose to do it that way. But there might be other disadvantages, and if you have other disadvantages, let me know, man, because that was something I'm always curious about, but I just don't know for sure. Now I have no idea. So I am just going to put this as this. An event handler is a list of methods. Agreed. Equaling just results false. Plus equal delegate somewhere in the start function to achieve your goal. So do you want me to put plus equals here? Because this is just the initiator. Now it won't let me do it anyway. So I agreed. This is the first function of the list of methods. So connect it. The first function is delegate. Right? Because if it's a list of functions and the first one is just delegate, yeah, I'm not exactly sure how that works behind the curtain. What's the disadvantage of me doing it this way? Okay. Sent sender E. So I'm totally breaking all my previous code, which is making me very antsy. Very antsy indeed. But now I get to use that async event args, and let's do it here. event handler, socket state. Oh, that's not true. Event handler equals delegate totally works. I don't know, man. I mean, I see your point. It should be maybe a list of delegates, but this is how I have it. I know, I get what you're saying, though. It's probably how it handles this. It's probably doing exactly what you just wrote in the chat, where like event handler equals private list delegate. When I do this, I'm sure it's doing exactly what you're saying right there. But this works, man. This is tried and true. I've been using this forever. Okay, sorry. Back to what I'm doing. Like I wish I could just run this just to show you, but I'm like in the middle of refactoring, and so it's gonna be a little while till I can work it again. But okay, this is one of those touchy subjects, and I know there's a whole bunch of stuff like about events that people have different like philosophies on, and this is the way I've been doing it. And I haven't been programming too long, but for like the last year, this is how I do my events. But people say they don't like doing this. Alright, I'm done. Alright, I'm sorry. I get a little passionate about that too. Alright. So, how am I going to handle this? Alright. I'm a little off here. This is everything I just broke, and it kind of looks pretty awful. Let me go back to just what I'm doing, which is local client. Alright, so local command client. So what's wrong with you? Inconsistent accessibility. Parameter type command server is less accessible than the method. Local command client, local command client. Command server. Oh, it's actually on command servers where we're having an issue. Okay, that's all good. Let's make it public. And then you're less. Alright. I don't mind it make it public. It could be internal too, and that should be alright. But I'm okay. Okay, so that's fine. Back to local command client. So that's how we're going to get the server in. This is how we're going to connect. And it's doing, there's no asynchronous stuff here. It's all synchronous here. So we're going to do base connect connect. And this is all local, so we're just calling directly classes. We're not touching networking at this point. We already did that with the TCP client. So, okay. Great. So when we call receive, we're just going to subscribe to that. And then when we get what we need, we are going to unsubscribe to that. And so I don't know. Oh yeah, I got to do it here. So server.sent minus equals on received. I know it seems kind of silly, but I'm kind of just mirroring what the TCP client's doing. So okay, that's all fine. And what do you do? Okay. Yeah, I better watch out passing nulls, because when I'm doing this kind of code, like e.completed minus equals on received, this is going to throw exception errors all the time. So when I'm doing this, let me be a little more careful, because if I go back to base on connected, you're going to try to remove something from there. So yeah, this is going to be kind of like a waste of the pool, but it's okay. Pool.pop. Pull that pop. Do that and then pull that push. There we go. So we're taking it out of the pool and then putting it right back in. Just to keep the code kind of simple and clean. And then receive. Okay, nice. So, and not that simple and clean, it's just it emulates the TCP version much better this way. Okay. So what am I doing next? On connected, receive, on received. So when I do base receive, nothing's happening there. Okay, no problem. Let me start closing out some of this extra stuff. So close everything but this. Alright, on received, we're just unsubscribing from on received, yep. And then we're doing this, which I think just calls the function. Oh no, so it doesn't. Yeesh. Alright, let's do it. This thing's gonna kill me too. Sender E. On. No, what am I doing? Yeah, received. Okay, so instead of packet handler, this is what we're gonna have to do. Man, this is unfortunate. But, you know what? It's better to use... I don't know if it's better to use kind of default C# stuff, but maybe it is. Let's see, just like the secret passage of instantiating an empty list with the null array. There are just some secrets C# never tells you. Oh, really? So, hold on, let me see. Instantiating an empty list with the null array. Really? I had no idea that's a thing. Huh. Alright. I think my client looks like I think I should be. So on connect, so connect, disconnect, receive, and send packet. Yeah, that's cool. They do nothing, at least at the root. And you are part of connection, and connection doesn't do anything. Even this packet handler, I think, is obsolete. So even though you extend, you're basically extending nothing, or an object really. So you say a generic list equals new list t null array is an empty list. Ah. Secrets. Alright, so here we go. We got the actions that the public can take, and here are the listeners. So on connected, on disconnected, on received, and on sent. So these e.completed, it's not for the local server, it's more for the TCPs. And then you actually launch the event that's associated with it. Man, I might as well just make it, just so it all looks nice. Just keep it all the same, right? Since we're gonna have this data one way or the other. Hey, what you doing, Archer Robinson? Reading my profile? ET, I'm in my 30s, school's kicking my butt. I mean, it's true. On connected, on disconnected, on received, on sent, is connected. Alright, my base is good. I'm happy with my base. Let's go to my local, let's go to command client. Command client's not doing anything right now. Alright, fine. Local command client. That's okay. When we connect, Yes. Yes. Fine. That looks great. Yeah, so I graduated, you know, when I was in my early 20s, worked for a while, came back to school in my late 20s, got my MBA. Then after my MBA, I started working for the university, and then I figured I'll go for my PhD while I'm in my 30s. So, yep, still in school. Okay. So, we received, on received. Oh, we didn't handle disconnect. I want to handle that. Alright, let me look at my faithful TCP disconnect. So on disconnect, I just... Yeah, I don't really know what I'm going to do with a local disconnect. Protect it. Not protect it, just override. Disconnect. What will we do outside of that? Yeah, I think I'm going to pop that out and run on disconnect it. Yeah, let's do that. On disconnect it. This and pool.pop. I think that's all I'm going to do. That kind of does the same thing there. Okay. On disconnect it, base on disconnect it, and then push it back in. Okay, cool. I agree with all of that. Alright, on disconnect it, sender E, and then push this back. Push this back into the pool. Alright, so that makes sense. Connect, on connect it, disconnect, on disconnect it. Yeah. So, Archer Robin Hood, what's your age, or your age range? Like in your 20s, your 30s, your teens, your hundreds? Alright, disconnect, on disconnect it, awesome. So we got connect. Man, dude, that's incredible. I'm so happy when young people like know programming and everything. That's great, dude. So I'm like almost double your age. That's great. So how did you learn programming? Was it in school? Do you learn on your own? I'm always curious. How do young people these days learn their programming? Alright, so override disconnect, override on disconnect. That all makes sense to me. So we got the received, and then we need the other one, which is the sent. Public override void send. Alright, so I think this is where the magic happens, right? With TCP client. So receive, there's nothing really special about receive. Oh, never mind. There is something very special about receive. Yourself in the internet. Yep. That's kind of how I started. At least that's how I started getting my base knowledge, and then now I'm finally in school, so I'm finally learning like the theory behind it, but it's something you could probably pick up really quickly. But to me, I'm a little older, so it takes me a little while longer to learn this kind of stuff. But I enjoy it, man. It's funny, like the older I get, the more I like programming. Like when I was young, I hated programming. I'm like, who wants to sit all day in front of the computer and program? And now I'm like, oh, let me just program. So yeah. Okay. So where am I? What am I doing? So I have a whole bunch of craziness happening here. I don't even know where to start. Maybe I'll do on receive first. Okay. So I'm gonna just bring this over. I'm not gonna actually do all of this, but okay. Oh, wrong function, wrong function. So this is the same. Okay. I'm not gonna check for this. I'm not gonna do all these crazy checks because I don't think I need to. Right? Yeah. So this is outside of the network portion. So this is going to be if I'm running a local game, right, on my computer. Yeah, the client and the server are going to be the same program. So it's just going to be two different classes talking to each other. So that's all I'm doing. I was going to show you the little diagram I had. It's not anything awesome or... So anyway, I'm working on these client and server. And so anyway, I want the local client controller and the local server controller. Basically, I want I don't even remember. Server.send should I forgot. On client send should receive something like that. Like basically, the servers subscribe to the client, and the server send is subscribed to the client receive, and the client sends are subscribed to the server receives. Something like that, right? Okay. So now I'm at the local client, receive data. I don't even know. I think from the server I can just send this as a packet, right? This is how I'm gonna try to handle it. You just told me, right, Archie Robin Hood? I mean, I'm gonna when I build the command client, I'm just passing the server. So that's how I'm gonna handle it. Here's your suggestion, dude. Oh yeah, I haven't got there yet. I'll figure it out. This should be command. This could be just packet, right? Yeah, I know. Maybe I should just keep them separate still. Let me do that. Man, I am just tearing apart my program. I hope I can rebuild it. Clients. I think I'm gonna have both functions again. Protected, virtual, void, on received. This can just be packet. I know what to do. Actually, don't separate them. There we go. Alright, leave it like that. But, okay, where is the client being created? Only the server itself in its own program can instantiate the client. You cannot send it over the network. Yes, agreed. For local command client and local command server, which are going to be the two things I'm building right now, this episode, they're going to be instantiated as two different objects in one class. So it's not going to be sent over the network. Everything this is super local. This is not like local network. This is local to your machine. Local is the title of my episode. I should have like maybe made it a little more clear here. But yeah, this is like I'm gonna have a local command, local server, local client right here on the same machine. And the reason I'm doing that is just because I'm going to build my game around this network infrastructure. So it's kind of transparent to the game whether I'm sending it to a local server or to a remote server. I want the logic to be the same. So I'm doing a lot of work here in the front end, so the back end I don't have to make two different systems, one for local play and one for remote play. It'll just be one system for both local and network play. Okay, so you thought local command client was the server end of the client. No, it's the client itself. Maybe I don't have to do any of this. I think it's just like this. Au contraire, mon frère, au contraire. I have a vision, and it will work. How am I going about this? Server command, not server command. What am I doing? My mind is not into it right now. Oh, I'm getting a, what's this called? Async event, socket async event args. We'll just call it E equals pool.pop. And here we go. Maybe I'm not explaining myself correctly. The server and the client are not going to be equal to each other, but they'll be two different classes subscribed to each other's event. So server send is subscribed to, no, server receive is subscribed to client send, which I'm doing right now, and then client receive is subscribed to server send. It is all one program. This is going to be all one program. My I'm sorry, the local part of this is going to be one program. So if you're using local command client, local command server, it's all going to be one program. But if you're using TCP command client and TCP command server, they're going to have to be on two different programs. So it's going to be kind of more of a dynamic system here. The purpose is so that when I'm making my game, I basically write the game to send packets. I'm not writing the game to do actions, I guess. So this will be good for single player. The TCP and stuff will be good for multiplayer. It's kind of just like a modular thing. So if I have my local server client here, so I have local server client running in one program, and then outside of this little block, I have my game on both sides of this happening. So this is my local, this is my game. So if I take out the local piece and then I can put in a remote piece, they don't have to be one program. They can be separated and they can be in two sides of the world or whatever. So basically, my game logic that connects to it doesn't have to change, whether it's a local client or a remote client. I don't know if that's making any sense, but that's how I'm programming it. It's a modular piece, this connection. It's modular, so you can just take it out and put in another remote. It could be a TCP server, it could be a UDP server, it could be a mixed server. So it could be an IP version 6 server. So it's basically kind of I don't know, a networking engine, so that you can just modularly swap out the pieces. So it's not just like you wrote a whole program in like one freaking class. It's like it's a piece. And then if you build stuff on top of this engine, you can, I don't know. I'm trying to explain myself, and maybe I'm not making any sense. Alright, so base.send packets, pop something out of the pool. The user token is going to be the packet, so equals packet. And then you just say on sense this E. Alright, cool. And I think that's it. Okay. I buy it. I buy it. I see your point. There's you don't have to actually do connections and stuff like that. Like there's an offline mode. I guess I don't know. Alright, tell me more about the offline mode. So it's with sockets, right? I mean, you might be just blowing my mind here, man. You might be just saying, hey, all this work you're doing, not necessary. Although it hasn't been that much work. It's been like less than 50 minutes of work, and half of this time I was just talking. But, yes, okay. Tell me more about this offline mode, man. I am curious now. You've sparked my interest. And you might have blown my mind. Alright, but for now, while I'm still just waiting and talking, I'm going to keep programming this part. And the other crappy part about doing this is I just broke all my previous code, so yeah, but luckily I'm using Git, so I can always restore back to a previous version of my code. Alright, oh, I got you. So you're saying there's not an offline mode with the sockets. It's basically the game having to like use the sockets or not use the sockets, right? But you see, like that's where I have an issue, right? Because now I have to program two different parts of the game, one that uses the socket and one that doesn't use the sockets. So like the ones that use the socket has to send stuff over the network. And so it has to treat that differently than the game logic has to treat that a little differently. Not very much different. I give you that 100%. But I really don't think that is what I want, man. I want it to be like flawless. I just want it to be like, here's my one set of code. It's all gonna go through the socket, or the socket in quotes. And that's it. Like look at maybe like Half-Life or Team Fortress and stuff. I think they use kind of this format. Yeah, maybe I am writing my game the wrong way. But I think the way like Steam and everyone does it, and I could be completely wrong, so don't take my word on this. But I think they like use like plus forward to move forward, right? And they're kind of just sending that one command to the server, and the server might be on your computer, it might be another server. So I think the way they kind of handle it is the same way I'm thinking about it, but I could be wrong. And yeah, maybe I'm just wrong writing the game, so I don't know. But you know what I like about programming and all of this? There's really like no right one way to do everything, right? So even if I'm kind of like in Neverland right now, like I can still get it done. And that's what I like about it. Oh, Minecraft Beast Builder, man. Sorry. Hey, how's it going? You need help with your game? If you have a very simple question that I could answer in a couple seconds, maybe. But besides that, I don't have any information about your game. Okay, great. So override on sent. Do I need to override it to do anything? What am I thinking? Alright, well let me ask your opinion about this. If I hit the up arrow on a local computer, right? Alright, I'm going to give you the hypothetical, what I've been thinking about. Okay, dude, I I respect your opinion, dude, and you might be right, man. Everything might not be the way I'm thinking it. But I think this is what happens, right? So if I hit the up arrow, I'm supposed to move a character forward, right? Whether it's a first-person shooter, maybe hit right if it's a platformer. In local client play, the update loop handles it, right? So if I'm holding down the right, maybe I just move .x, I increment it a little bit, and so I'm moving my guy to the right. Okay, fine, perfect. Now if I'm using an authoritative server network infrastructure, if I hit the right key, I'm not moving the guy on my screen, or I could be, but that's not the point. I am sending that key over to the network, to the server, and the server is telling me, hey, you moved the guy to the right. And then he sends me back the information that says, hey, your guy has moved a little bit. So it's not really up to me to say whether I moved it, it's up to the server to say I moved it. So that, I think that part makes sense, and I think we agree on that, right? I got a point, I just want to see if we're on the same page with that so far. Minecraft Beast Builder wants multiplayer like mine. Oh, dude, you don't want your multiplayer to be like mine. I am so far from having a streamlined multiplayer game right now, it's not even funny. Although I laugh a little about it, but it's not funny. I still have to make a game after I make this engine, so yeah. Okay, what am I thinking? On sense. Oh, let's look at my TCP command client. What do you do once you send something? Oof. Alright, so when you actually send something, you don't really do much. Okay, that's good to know. Alright, so I'm going to just push that back onto the thing. Oh Lord. Yep, send with socket. Uh-huh. Just do it by default. So yeah, I mean, I'm not arguing with this part of the code. This makes sense. And just so you can see it a little better, I'll zoom in. So yeah, I definitely don't argue with this piece of code. It's how you handle this piece of code. So just do it by default. We'll edit the update loop, right? Send with socket would basically send to the server, and then you have to do some other stuff to receive it from the server, right? So just so I could say, do what I'm thinking of, just right here at the bottom of my command, kind of following your example, so like public void up arrow. I would say send up arrow. And so it really wouldn't matter, or it would be like server, no client, dot send up arrow, right? And then public void update client dot get update. So this is all I have to do, processing my up arrow. Doesn't matter whether it's local or there's no checks, there's no any craziness. It's just simple, clean code, and that's all I have to do. And the client would handle all the rest. And then on the server, so that's all the client code, and the server code will have the, so this would be like server code, and this could be like public void update, and it'd be like, if, this is horrible code, maybe not the best example, if client dot up arrow down or something, client.x plus plus or something, and then send update or broadcast update to all clients, and that's it. One simple, like 3 simple functions, and that, like, I handle it all. There's no question about it, I guess. And there's no extraneous code or anything like that. So this is how I would handle it, and that's kind of like the direction I'm going with all of this. Anyway, I hope that kind of made sense. But I get your way too, man. But I challenge you to see how to write those things. It'll be a little bit longer if you wrote that simple, like, pseudocode and tried to do the server and the game logic. You'd have to do like this: if, do this chunk of code; else, do this chunk of code; if, do this chunk of code; else, do that chunk of code. Nothing wrong with that. It's just I don't like it like that. But you see, I'm not using any kind of sockets. I'm only using kind of the structure of the sockets, but I'm not using any kind of sockets. If you can broadcast is any ways through event handlers. I don't know what you mean by that last line. And, oops, I lost the music. Here we go. It says, you can broadcast is any ways through event handlers. I'm sorry, man. I still don't know. All right. Let me get through this. Local command client, send, on sent. Gosh. I just hope I'm doing this right. Now here's the other. Alright. Okay, let me see if I can reread this. Okay, but if it's local, why use any kind of sockets? If you can broadcast it anyways through event handlers. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm subscribing through event handlers. I'm kind of, with local command client, I'm bypassing the sockets and just using event handlers. Now, if you look at my TCP client, I'm using a whole bunch of, where is it? I'm going to pop it up right now. Yeah, I'm using like send asynchronous and receive asynchronous, wherever that may be. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff going on here. But anyway, so I totally am using sockets here on the TCP version of it. But the local one, I'm just using event handlers. I'm not using sockets whatsoever. But I am using this socket event args, which is not a socket at all. It's just a data structure, much like an array or a list. But I get to I can use this data structure and keep it kind of, this is more for simplicity's sake of my programming, so that the code of the local command client. It's not too different from the TCP command client. I think I tried, dude. I thought I tried to say that before. I swear. But it was just, there's a lot going on through my mind, man, and I'm sorry if I didn't get that across to begin with. Okay. Back to what I'm doing, right? So receive, on received, send, on sent. Alright, command client's going to do some stuff here. So I'm going to try to steal some of this code. So receive doesn't do anything, but on received, yes, we need to do some stuff here. Oh, actually, we don't have to parse packets or anything, because if everything's local, everything should just work. So I'm not worried about parsing packets or anything. Okay. Sending. Yes, I'm going to have to do some of this stuff, though. So I think this is going to just be on command client itself. Yeah, you don't have to override anything. Okay, so let's see. On command client, if you have a packet, we're just going to send the packet. Okay, cool. And this is going to just build the packet. Okay, cool. Alright, alright. So that's good. I don't have to handle that here. So this whole function, don't worry about it. Maybe all these functions, like send character, because it just builds the packet and just sends it. Okay, I like it. I like it a lot. So these are just kind of locally things that build packets and then sends them. Great. So local command client, connection I'm not worried about. Command client should be here at the beginning. Okay. So client, on received, on sent. Alright. I'm going to keep looking at my TCP command client. Alright, so let me just see how it's differing and how it's not different. Alright, so on connect, I don't need to worry about all this remote address and connecting, so that's cool, don't have to worry about that. On connected, I don't have to worry about... let me see. Local command client. I am popping and pushing. Okay, but that's okay. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, on connected, that's cool. On disconnected, I should be kind of doing the same thing, popping and pushing the E. And the only reason I'm doing that is just because on the base, I'm unsubscribing from .completed. So like this, that's, yeah, so that's okay. Okay. So local command clients, receive, server.sent on receive. So when you send something, I should receive it. Okay, and then I unsubscribe to it. That's perfect. Okay. And I'm going to put that event target in there. Awesome. Okay, I'm happy with that. On send, I am going to get an event arg, put a packet in there, and then send it. Perfect. And then once you send it, you're going to launch the events, and then push the event back. Perfect. Okay. I feel good with that. Now let's see how this, what else I need to worry about. So I'm did the connected, the disconnected, I'm not too worried about. The receive, Lordy. So receive data is fine. Alright, so this is where it's going to get a little tricky. We're going to have to launch this base, this thing every time. Every time we get a packet. So we're going to say e.userToken equals packet. And then you're going to do this on received. Okay. I buy that. And okay, this one I'm not too worried about. This one I can just say, let's see. Well, I think I just do that, right? Base sender, sender E. Yeah. And you launched a sent. Okay, yeah, perfect. Whew, okay. So these are launching the events. I almost just want to try it to see if my TCP client still works. I did a lot of refactoring, but it should still work. I'm going to try it. I might totally regret this. I want to see something. I think I'm going to totally regret this, but let's see. Oh, there's build errors, so yeah, I can't do anything. Alright, so client data. What's going on? Accessibility issues. Client data is less accessible than other stuff. So let's go to client data. I'm going to make it public. I'll worry about security later. Received data. Oh yeah, sure. Received data is also less public. Telnet connect. Oh, you're not overriding anymore in this case. Interesting. Okay, but let me go ahead and do override what I need to override here. And I'm going to kind of just use the same thing I did here for TCP command client. Yeah, let's just do it this way. Alright, cool. Does that work? Oh, and there is no base host port anymore. There we go. Yep, we gotta fix Telnet kind of the same way. e.userToken is going to equal packet, and then you're going to send it base.onReceived. On received. Sender E, yeah. And you can delete this guy. Uh-oh. What I did. Alright, cool. And then here, you just go, you're not overriding anything. That makes sense. That makes sense. You don't actually have to do this anymore. Okay, I think that works. So what are we doing next here? No overload method for onConnected. Oh lord. Oh, I know what's going on here. OnConnected. This is going to be object sender. socket async event args e, and let's just copy that and paste that here. I'm gonna have to paste that here, paste that here, and now we're gonna have to do some work here. And this is the part I was most afraid of. So I can't just test it. I gotta fix more of this stuff. Okay, so packet. How are we gonna get packet? This is what I'm assuming. Packet equals e.user token as packet, and kind of the same thing here. All right, I feel that's pretty good. I'm sure okay. What am I missing here? Connect it on client. Connect it. Yeah, this is a server program, right? Yeah. All right, cool. So here we go. This is the one that I'm not too sure about myself. Yeah, this is going to take another whole changing. Alright, but we'll figure it out. So this is what I'm thinking. Client data, client equals E. Oh my gosh, what did I do? E.user token. Yeah, I totally screwed that up. Command client program. This is what I want to copy and paste everywhere. What did I copy and paste? Some craziness. A whole line of code. Alright, let's fix this. Object sender, socket event E. You too, man. You can't get away. You too. No one's getting away here. Okay. So now I should be able to say e.user token as client data. Alright, everything else should be kosher. Whew, alright, did I forget anything? Did I miss anything? Should have this been a packet, so maybe instead of that. Oh, this has two things. I wonder if we still have send data. Maybe we'll call this like server data. If I go to server program, or just server, or what about base server? Yeah, this guy, send data. Let's call this server data. Server data. Now, is that still a thing? Okay, no, it's not its own class though. So let's go ahead and grab you. Save you. Make a new class. Call it server data. Doesn't have to be protected. It can be public. Alright. And then you just get a client data on the packet. Alright. So hopefully on the server side, maybe we can get server data here. So this, what did I do? Server data, and then we can say client data, client equals s dot client data, packet equals s dot packet. Does that work? Yeah, alright, and then basically we need to just copy that twice. Yep. Then just client ID for everything else. Okay, nice. Yes, Teching Penguin, it's the white theme. The normal default theme. Oh no. There goes my eyeballs. With all this light in my eyes. Okay. Yes, so base server is where it's going to be a problem. Okay. I heard something. I just missed it. So whoever just followed me, man, thank you. Alright. I'm going to just leave it like that. Alright. Getting all this to work is a little exhausting. Too much, what should I say? Too much refactoring. I kind of took a big chunk out of this, so maybe I screwed up. Alright, so here, instead of that, I'm going to say base on received this. And so I'm going to say this, or let's see, sender I don't know exactly what I want to do. I'm going to say this E. Nope, can't do that either. Alright, we'll do that here. So this is what I'm going to do. Make it just a new. New send server data. And with packet equals received packet, and what's the other one? Oh, are you just a constructor? I don't need to do all this craziness. Yeah, okay. Client data received packet. And I don't know what I'm doing there. Let's just say e.userToken equals that. And then something like that. We can even just say sender e. Okay. Geez, I hope that works. So we're saying we received that, and then we're processing it. Okay, cool. What else am I screwing up here? Oh, on received. What? Do I have multiple functions for this? e.userToken equals this. And yeah, that sounds good. Alright, what else am I missing? Okay, this one's going to be a little harder. I think I'm going to take this out. Wherever I'm handling this command, yep, here. I think I'm going to just handle it here. Can't handle it here either. We gotta handle it all the way here. So we're gonna say if e dot, nope, sorry, if client data dot I don't even know how to pretend to do this. Let's not do any of this. Alright. Let's say I don't modify that. So that's under what, base server or telnet server? Let's say you are just a packet handler. Packet handler. And I know you don't know what that is yet. Or not even a packet handler. What are you? Let me go look at my source tree. Here we go. Working copy, please. If I go back to my command client, no, my server, command server, yeah, there we go. There were client actions, okay. So I'm taking those two things. You're coming back with me. And now I gotta find that client action. Which was it on base server? Base server, where you at? Here? Where would client actions be? Command server. You were part. Okay, so it says client actions. Then if I go to base server, I don't see that I removed client actions. Then if I go to server, oh, here we go. I'll just put you here though. Maybe. I'll put you at server, I guess, where you were. Alright, I'm just say client action. Calling it a day. Making it my own personal thing here. Client action. Okay, on logged in. Okay, so we're almost there. Client action. What does client action do again? On server. It's just client data client. Okay, so let's go to these guys. On logged in. Instead of doing all this nonsense, let's just do that. Instead of doing all this nonsense, let's just do that. Control L, Control L. You're just clients. Alright, just because I fixed all the errors doesn't mean I fixed all the errors. So let's see what happens. Let's see how bad this crashes. Okay, server. Hey, I can still await a connection, so that's a little hurdle that we crossed. Alright, client. Alright, all sorts of crazy stuff already happening. So let's see what we're missing here. So we received a server sent something here. So server sent this packet and we received it. So here it is. This is the server sending it to us. And oh, we just tried to send a heartbeat and now everything's broke. So that's okay. Oh, but it received it, so that's nice. So let's see what happened here. Unable to cast object command packet to type received data. Okay. So this is command line 85. Oh gosh, so we're getting a whole bunch of crazy stuff already happening. So 85 or 108, let's check it out. TCP client, so let's just get that one client. Close all the rest. So, already forgot the line. 117. Oh no, wrong one. Base server 117. Base server 117. Okay, so whatever I tried to do here did not like it. Client data did not want to do that. So when I say received here, what am I using for my user token? Yeah, that should have been fine. So where did I go wrong here? Base server. So what happened here? Unable to convert from server data to client data. Oh, okay. Okay, I think I see what's happening. So on the actual program itself, pum pum pum. Where is the program itself? It's command. This is the server, so command server program. Okay, so I'm casting it no matter what to this user. Okay, so let's go ahead and make sure we are, when we're calling on received, which I think, yeah, on received. TCP client on received. Yeah, okay, I see. I can see where this is a problem. So are you even using this? Client data? You're just getting the client socket out of it. Okay. What if I said you were server data? And I said server data S equals this. Then I said S dot client data equals client data equals S dot client data. Alright, maybe that'll work. I think that's better. Okay, let's try that. What else screwed up? So that's my whole can't convert that to that thing, so that's fine. The other one was on the TCP client 85, something was happening. On 85, we tried to cast this into a received data. When it's not received data, it's going to be no, now I'm confused again. That totally is received data. Oh, I know what happened. You know what? I'm not going to have this function anymore. So let's see what we can do here. I'm deleting this function. So don't worry about this. I think the reason I did this was because of this guy. We're going to say pool.push e if this happens. Okay. Otherwise, you didn't do it. You're going to pull.push e here, and then you'll continue to receive again. Okay. I'm happy with all this happening. Okay. So don't worry about this command or this command. e.set on receive. Okay. I think I'm happy again. So I should have fixed both those two exceptions. Let's see if I have. So here we go. Top is the server, bottom is the client. Okay, so no problems yet. That's awesome. So what we have here is the server was awaiting connection, then client 1 connected, and then the server sent 61 bytes to client 1, and just it was this. So I'm going to put in a password. 1337. Awesome, I logged in successfully. Everything seems to be working okay. And every, I think right now, 20 seconds or 30 seconds, the client's always going to send a heartbeat, just to make sure it's still connected. Okay, so if I write test, awesome. If I write nothing, blank, get wrecked will show me less. Alright, and then we do game, and it says entering game mode, and then this is where I can enter some packets. So as I hit keys on the keyboard, it sends it to the server, and the server just sends it right back to me. So this is great. This works. Oh no! Until I said something, and then it breaks. So let's see what happened here. What broke? What went wrong? Okay, so something with the server. As an asynchronous operation is already in progress using this async event. Ooh, so it tried to use an instance that was already being used. Okay, not good. So where was this? Base server 134. Oh, it was my sending. Am I pushing something too early? I mean, that's got to be what's happening, is I'm pushing something back to the pool too early. Well, to be honest, I haven't looked at the server yet with my new setup, so... I know, right? Coding on Christmas. I'm just ridiculous. I must have a death wish. Or at least I'm a really boring wish. What's up, Bam Boy? Yeah, man. I am doing my best to get this working, but I'm seems like I'm breaking it more than fixing anything. But yeah, man, I was about to go because I need to take a little break so I can get my mind straight again, and then I'm gonna work on the server, on my refactoring of the server, and then I'm gonna see if I can get local to work, TCP to work, and then I'll be happy. But alright, I think I'm gonna go for at least 30 minutes, and I'll be back, hopefully. Yeah, I'm not even gonna commit anything because it's kind of a little bit broken still, so I'm gonna just pause it and I'll come back later. Alright, everybody, I will see you guys in a bit. Bye. Yeah, man, I don't know, dude. I only do like an hour or an hour something at a time. So, but I'll be back soon. If you're around, come check me out. Later.